All right, here. What do I want to do? Oh my god. I got so much stuff to focus on. I got these favorites, the X-Men, Sinister Six. Are they in the game yet? I don't know. Squirrel! Yes, I'm back again to help you with priorities and what your priorities might be, what they should be, what mine are. So on and so forth. So what this video, if you've never seen one of these before, I basically go through a spreadsheet that talks about kind of what I'm focusing on. I could go through all this stuff in the game and kind of show you these different, this is where I got here, this is what I got here. That could be laborious and lengthy. I will show at the top end here, and we'll get into this a little bit in the video, and maybe I'll jump back and forth a little bit. It's the first time I'm doing it in this format, so I'm gonna tinker around a little bit. But you can see I've got these 5 favorited, and you're probably wondering why the heck would you have those 5 favorited? And it's a great question, especially these 2 on the end. Mainly, I'm shard farming, and I want to be able to find these quickly. These 2 for my villain and heroes. Goblin, just because at some point I know I want to get 7-star Shuri, even though my Carnage is far away. And shield, because I need to get 7-star shield minions at some point in this game. So, having said that, let's actually jump to the most exciting aspect of this, is the spreadsheet, because and maybe I'll jump here, we'll see. But you know what, actually, yeah, we're going to go back and forth. So, what's going to happen here is in my system, we're going to see that I'm jumping over it. Now, for those of you who've never seen the spreadsheet before, basically, I'm going to zoom way out, or further out. What this spreadsheet is, and it don't get, like, oh my god, what is all this? It can feel very overwhelming. Essentially, what each one of these columns is a date and time where I had certain priorities. And over the course of time, and it starts way to the right, and I'll scroll over all the way over to there. I've gone kind of, whatever, it's a day, a week, a month, whatever it might be, kind of working from right on the screen to left in my priorities. And I tried to color code it so you could kind of see where they jump up and down as you kind of move throughout time. If you really want to see, maybe a beginner player who might want to be like, how do I evolve into getting to the priorities that WolverThor is currently at? That would be how you do it. Again, way back in the day, Defender stunk when I started, so you probably don't even see those guys here. So I do have kind of a priorities list for beginners off to the side here. But having said that, let's just let's focus in on what the last YouTube video I did was here. So there's been what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm now on my 7th iteration since my last YouTube video, and that last YouTube video was, that was back in April. So quite a ways away. And the date I've got here, which is June 27th, is 5-6 days ago. So anyway, let's actually zoom in so we can see here, and you guys can get a good feel for what's happening. So first, let's go to the last video, and I'm gonna zoom out slightly more for this part. Actually, let's see, does that work? That's not too bad. So the last video, and you can kind of see my slot machine RNG red stars. I always had this thing at the top forever, and I think it's still a top priority. But what I was finding is I'm not really getting 4 or 5 plus red stars. So I'm like, why do I have this as my top thing up here? So it kind of, and again, zooming out a little bit here, you can kind of see, let's do one more. You can kind of see that it starts falling on the priorities all the way down to the bottom. Not the bottom, but I just don't have any. I eventually added, Miles and Wasp here, but it just was. I was getting nowhere with it. It's just kind of like, all right, so I have these, characters that have 5 red stars on them, but I'm not building up Miles and Wasp. I'm just not. So anyway, that's what happened with that specific priority. Defenders, they kind of, and I'm going to zoom back out. I'm going to stick in this version. You might not be able to read it as well. It'd be more importantly for you to be able to read it when, and I'll put the link to the spreadsheet in the description below. But the part at this point is to really see the evolution of these things. So defenders were kind of important, and then they dropped down a bit because I got them to pretty decent levels. I got their passives, I got them ranked up a bit, and then I moved them into I actually considered them finished at that point. Even though my defenders are pretty weak, I'm not gonna prioritize that gear on here. If I do anything, I'm doing it in what I have. This is, it's kind of, we'll zoom in on this specific spot. You can kind of see this Alliance War section I started doing, where it was just like I was putting these different teams in here, and you can see I was talking at the time of Spider-Verse, because it's like, oh, maybe Spider-Verse can beat Shield. That'd be great. Then as I was looking at it and watching videos, etc., because I had left mine behind, I noticed that they were really relying on RNG, and they weren't that good of a team. So I decided, no, I'm not interested in building a team that's that heavily dependent on RNG. So anyway, but you get the idea, is that I had some, here's a perfect example where it's power armor, defenders, fury, shield, things I'm focusing on there. So that's kind of where I start putting my teams at, is because really it's about Alliance War for me. It's like, well, I'm not going to say it's a blitz team, it's like, because the blitz team that they're at is fine. So that's what, where the defenders kind of eventually moved to. And then let's see, what else do we have up in here? The Alliance War teams, again, Spider-Verse, that eventually kind of just fell off the map. And if you're building up your Spider-Verse, I recommend, unless you have nothing else to do, I recommend to find a different team to prioritize. They're not the greatest in the world. We'll just leave it at that. Some of these other priorities, Shuri's 6-star, I eventually get that taken care of, and I'm working on the 7-star. Fear the Dark Dimension, T13. I was just kind of going through all the materials that I needed for my different tunes, which if you haven't seen my videos for Fear the Darkness, definitely check those out. Used a really good team. Back in the day, talked to Chew a little bit about that. He was a great sounding board for kind of determining that. He's a smart man. Knows a lot about the game. Chewburger84, if you haven't come across him. And then, these other ones were kind of Raid Blitz, Arena, single character, Kree, 7-star for Nick Fury, and then Iron Man, etc., etc. So you'll see how those kind of evolved, and I'm not going to go through each one of those and show how they evolved over the course of time, because it's just, you look at the spreadsheet if you really care that much. Honestly, it's just, I don't know. I'm not. Put in the comments below if you really think that's something you want me to go through, but I'm thinking that for the most part, most people probably don't want to see that type of discussion. So I'll really just kind of talk about maybe the last 2 or 3 priority lists that I got on here. So let's go straight to those. All right, so you can kind of see here, I've evolved from 7-star Phoenix to Arena. The reason being is because I got the 7-star Phoenix. I was lucky to make sure that, I had Hand Assassin and Loki. I was able to get them. And then on this one, I actually started farming gear for the Mystic controllers as a backup in case I needed to upgrade them. Didn't need to do that, as I'm sure you've seen in all kinds of different videos. Arena, this is gear and abilities, Phoenix, Cyclops, Colossus. Probably could add Jugs to that. I'm still a little torn on who I want to put where. The Arena meta, I feel like, still shaping up, at the upper echelon of those. Obviously, Ultron's still there. X-Men are involved. You still see some Brotherhood with Juggernaut or Magneto, Captain Marvel, seeing her. Minn-Erva still around. You still see some Guardians with Rocket, Starler, and Groot. So my specific one that I think I'm going to do, and you can even see in here, it's Ultron, Minn-Erva, Phoenix, and... I like Colossus, Magneto's okay, Captain Marvel, War Machine, I have 5 red stars, it's the only reason he was even lifted there. Cyclops, I think, is going to play a role depending if his stats stay that way. So anyway, that's what I've got as my current number 1 priority, and that's so that I'll farm the gear that I need for Cyclops that I'm short on. Next one, I've got Alliance War, my shield, and you know what, I'll show you real quick. Let's jump back into game for a second. And we can see, not sort by, sorry, I'm still getting used to this. I want to just do shield. You can kind of see my shield has been neglected quite a bit. Not bad. I've got a 33, 35, most that's from red. So you can see the shield medic, the sealed trooper, security, operative assault. Operative assault need the most love. Security's pretty good. I brought him into Fear the Darkness, but the rest of these guys need to be maxed, and I could use some gear. T9 on both of those, and I'm sure my trooper and medic are both T9 too. Fury's T11, so he's not bad, but I need to get these other 4 up. Security's already T13. He's a staple to that team. So anyway, so that's why I've got that specific team next, because I feel like I really need to get them. Defenders, again, I've still got some things on there that I could focus, like I mentioned before. All right, so next, Shuri 7-star, Green Goblin. I've got more shards than that, but not much. Carnage, and I've got here, notice organic for Carnage. What I mean by that is I'm not actively farming him in the War Store. I'm just getting whatever, orbs that I can get to get shards for him. And at some point, he'll get close, and maybe I'll get the War Store, but I think the War Currency is too valuable to farm him. Wakanda does not seem to be as good as what was originally thought. Again, to mention Chewburger again, he's got an extremely strong Wakanda team. I'm waiting to kind of see what his final determination is, but him aside, a lot of the community who have them up high, they talk about that they kind of fall off in Alt 7. So because of that, I'm not necessarily looking to, really push for a 7-star Carnage. So the next one we've got here is what I call the single character focus. I wrote red stars if 5+ or pivotal, but really what this is right now is it's just what are the random tunes that I've got that I need to shard farm, and I bolded the ones I'm focusing right now. So aim, security, and Rav Bruiser. Again, these aren't super accurate numbers at the moment, but they're the ones I'm farming to 6-star. I'll then pick another couple that I want to get eventually to 6 and 7, because you never know when a legendary is going to need a hand assassin. I thought I was done with these useless minions. Obviously, I don't want to think that, so I am going to spend time and effort farming them to at least close to 7-star, and then I'll stop. And if they pop in, then I'll actively make an effort to farm them. Next one I've got is Wakanda. Now they actually seem to do okay. I've got an alliance mate who has a decent, pretty powerful Wakanda team, and he does pretty good against the Minardi and Thanos team. So I've kind of got this here just in case. So I might end up, focusing them, but it's lower tier on the list. And then again, the spot we talked about, red stars. Maybe I put a Miles the T10 and Wasp. I don't even have her passive at level 4, so I think it's 5% dodge. I'm like, and I don't have a ton of T3s. By the way, Fox Next, I'd love if you added more T3s to that actual Ultimate 7. It would help dramatically. And then the next one I've got is this Alliance War Power Armor. I just love them. They're a fantastic team. 7-star, but for Falcon and Rescue, but I don't have a way to do it. And I'm not right now. I'm not going to pay for it. They're good characters, but hopefully they'll get into orbs or a node or a store to farm, and then gear tier 12 at some point. So the rest of the stuff down here is just pish posh stuff that and then the stuff that's bolded is done. So I don't have to worry about these things. I've got my for the payday event 7-starred. I've now got the hand team 7-starred for the Catalyst event, and I've got Iron Man at 7-star. I'm gonna get Fury at 7-star next time he comes around, so I'm excited for that. And then these ones are old, man, for back when they had the campaigns that you could actually move forward in. For any player who's been playing probably longer than 6 to 8 months, you're probably already done with this. I haven't bolded them because I assume that there's some point gonna come back. So anyway, so that's the priority list I've got. Like I mentioned before, on the side here I've got beginners, and I'll just real quickly, you just need it for heroes to start, villains next, and then your defenders to get into arena, raids, whatever. The rest of this stuff down here, I actually think do Kree for Nick Fury after that. And then, and the reason I say that is because I think the defenders and shield are going to get you further up front than, you want to get those Guardians. Star-Lord, he was the first one I went after, but I just think as far as farming and quickness to get some decent characters, because you want to get to arena as quick as you can to get those cores, I think the defenders and potentially shield. But again, you saw my shield, so wait a minute, you're telling me to go after Merle and then you didn't? Fair point. So anyway, so that's pretty much it. If you got any questions, please put them in the comments below. I appreciate everybody coming by. There is one more thing that I want to do here, and it is I said that I was going to have a giveaway in one of my last videos. For anybody who commented on that specific trailer, for anybody who commented on that video. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, now let's see who it's gonna be. Drum roll, please. Ba-dum, ba-dum. That's not a drum roll. What's a drum roll? Not that. Let's see here. The winner is DW. So let's see, great video. I think you will be fine for 6-star Phoenix. Talking about red stars. Didn't think I was gonna be able to do 7. You were wrong, DW. We should exclude you just for that. Not, I'm just kidding. Oh, and answer to your question. Coming home from work and to see my dog. I don't think anybody can argue with that unless you're a cat person. And if you're a cat person, then I have a cat, so I can't talk badly about you. And that cat helps my daughter sleep in her room, so I'm pretty happy about that. So congratulations, DW. Hopefully you're seeing this. If you are, please leave a comment below to how to contact me on contact you on Discord or email, and we'll get you a $25 gift card to either the Apple Play Store, or I'm sorry, the Apple Store if you're an iPhone user, or the Google Play Store. We'll work those details out behind the scenes, so congratulations. And for any of those of you who want to do this again in the future, I will have more of these. I'll leave some instructions and videos that I'll have just to kind of, it's going to be similar, honestly. Yeah, so congratulations. So thanks everybody for coming. Appreciate it. I hope this priorities video helped you out. I tried to cover a number of different items for those beginners out there, all the way to people like me, and then you can see the link below to see the kind of evolution of those priorities. So as always, please hammer down on that like button, click that subscribe button, click that notification bell. That's a big part of YouTube these days, to try to get the content out there. Share with your friends, and we'll see you guys again soon. Thanks.